In today's session of Divorce Court, Tish Williams says Russell's neglect was hurtful.
He would come home from work and instead of interacting with myself or my child, he would just get on the internet and look at porn. And he was like, oh, what's wrong with looking at porn? I was like, Russell, you are a freak.
But a phone call broke her heart.
I received a call from a woman claiming that she had been impregnated by my husband.
What?
Our sex life totally disintegrated. I told him, I said, you know, I really can't be with you because I don't know what you have.
I don't have any naked pictures of guys in my drawers.
Woo! You get ready to respond to that one.
It's the case of Tish Williams versus Russell Williams in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Russell Williams versus Tish Williams. And Ms. Williams, I'm advised that this Valentine's Day marriage is now about to end after a year. What happened to the honeymoon?
Your Honor, approximately 3 months ago, I received a phone call from a woman claiming that she had been impregnated by my husband.
That's
In 3
untrue.
months?
That's untrue, Your Honor.
And what did you do?
Ago.
Did you know this woman? Had you ever heard from her before?
Your Honor, I did not know this woman, but I had found her phone number.
Oh.
She was calling my house continuously.
So you believed her then?
I had reason to believe that this might be true.
That's
So someone
untrue,
was
Your
calling
Honor.
your house continuously in less than a year of marriage?
Yes, Your Honor. My husband had led me to believe that our relationship would be a partnership, that we would do partnership parenting.
That I pay for everything.
That we would be together, that our child was planned, that it would be a beautiful thing. But what ended up happening was as soon as I came home from the hospital, he was out the door, spending evenings at the home of another woman. He would be at this woman's house.
She's always
Your Honor,
assuming.
I was able
Hold on,
to.
Mr. Williams.
I found this woman's phone number. I was able to call her several times. And I
Oh,
would
and
say,
when you called her, what did she
I
say?
would say, could I please speak to my husband? Is Russell there? And she would say, hold on. And I would
What?
say, Russell, please come home. Please
You mean
be
you
with
called the
me.
woman's house, asked for your husband,
And he would get on the phone, and I would say,
Knowing that it
please
was you?
come home. Yes.
and
I
this
would-
is his other person?
Yes, and I would say to him, you know, what's going on? Who is this woman? And he would say, oh, she's just a friend. I just want to go and spend time with my friends. And then he would come home at 6 a.m. in the morning. And by 8 a.m., this woman would be
No, that's untrue,
on
Your
the
Honor.
phone
Let me tell you
calling
what's really
my
happening.
I'm going to let you tell me because I really want to
asking
know.
I'm gonna tell you what's
speak
really
to
happening.
him. And finally, I had to give him an ultimatum. I said, either you need to choose to be with this woman or you need to choose to be at home with your family.
Well, let me talk to you, Mr.
Oh,
Williams.
okay.
Tell me about that.
Let me
Now,
tell
wait
you
a
about
minute.
this.
Wait a minute. Here's what I want you to tell me. You married your wife. You have a beautiful child, a baby girl, boy.
Baby girl.
Baby girl. And in less than a year, you're out with somebody else that you have to be with?
That's untrue. That is untrue. 100%.
Well, let me hear your side.
My side of the story is I have female friends. She have guy friends. When they call her, it's all good.
Your Honor,
But
I
when
have
no,
calling
it's
my
your turn to be
house.
quiet.
Yes, I've already spoke. You spoke. Let me speak. Now,
I handled that part.
I'm sorry. It's okay for her to have guys that call her, but when girls call me, it's a big different thing. It's a big problem. But I don't have any naked pictures of guys in my drawers.
Your Honor,
Well, wait a minute. Let's not talk about the naked
Yes.
picture of guys in your drawers. You want
Uh-huh.
to jump off you onto her. I'm going to give you that opportunity, too, about the naked pictures of the guys in the drawers.
Right.
Woo! You get ready to respond to that one. But now, let's talk about you and the girlfriend whose house you're
Okay,
at.
the girl that I was at,
Your
that's-
friend
that was
at
my
night.
friend.
Yeah.
Okay, I was over there. The phone rang. She was surprised. Somebody calling for me, so she handed
How
the
could it
phone.
be his friend?
Wait
So-
a
was
minute,
living
Miss
there
Williams. What did I
practically.
say? It's your turn to keep your mouth closed while he talks. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so I was over there, and she gave me the phone. So I said hello, and it was her. And then she started yapping and yapping, going crazy, out of control. I didn't know what was wrong with her. So I said, what is the problem?
Oh.
Why are you over at this woman's house? This is my friend. If you'd like to meet her, she's more than welcome to meet her. And then she calls up some of my other female friends. That I have phone numbers of people that I work with. And she started accusing me of sleeping with the people that...
So why are you at the
my
female
God.
friend's house?
It was only one girl.
Why were you at her house?
She's a friend. Just like I
Okay,
went to
so
another
why
guy's
weren't you at
house.
home?
Because we were having problems at night,
Why
so I
weren't
left.
you at home?
Because you were having problems?
We were having problems at
What
the
was
house.
the problem
so I
in less
decided
than a
to leave.
year?
We were arguing. She's always wanting her way. She's a spoiled little brat. Just because she grew up with a lot of money, she expects the guy to take care of her always and do what she wants.
Did you just discover that after you married her?
Yeah.
Oh, come off of it. Yes. Now, you dated her, according to my papers, for 1 year. And in that year's time, you didn't find out that she was a spoiled little brat.
Well, yeah, for a while I did. Because at one time, she didn't want to mop the floor. She said, oh, I never had to do that. We have maids for that kind of stuff.
That is
and
totally
if she
untrue.
had a maid for that kind of stuff, and if she was used to people giving her things, you knew that you were going to have to continue to do that, did you not?
No, ma'am. It doesn't work that way. I thought
You thought she changed?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you think she changed? Why would a person go from being pampered and well taken care of and people giving them what they want to saying, oh, I don't really want to be pampered? You really thought that she would change?
Yes.
Why?
Because we were in love. Love does miracles.
Love does what?
It'll make you change. Sometimes it'll make you change.
Don't pay no bills?
It doesn't.
Amen.
It doesn't buy you what you need. So that's why you went to see this friend.
It was a friend.
That your wife didn't know anything about.
Yes, she never wanted to meet her. I gave her several opportunities.
And of course you tried very hard to introduce her, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I did.
And that's why the number was just found because...
No, it wasn't no secret. I made phone calls from the house.
Did you give her the number?
Call. Yes.
I see. And I really believe that. And you're over to the friend's house just talking. What about, how did she get pregnant? Just talking? Or is anyone pregnant by you?
I don't know anybody that's pregnant.
Oh, so you don't know anything about
pregnant? I would like to know.
The woman would not identify herself. So it's the woman that called her and
said that she was pregnant. She hasn't yet told you.
I don't know anything about this. This is a surprise to me, and it'll be a miracle because I never had sex with anybody else.
Other than your wife.
So that would be a miracle.
That would be a real miracle.
Yes, it would.
Now, what about that? Have you done anything to verify that this woman is pregnant, that is your husband's baby? I mean, what makes you so certain that she's telling you the truth and not just trying to destroy your marriage?
Your Honor, this woman would not identify herself. But to me, the point is
But you said you called her and you talked to her.
I don't know if that is the same woman who called me and said that she was pregnant. A woman called me on my phone and said that she was pregnant. This was during a time...
And you don't know who the woman is?
Your Honor, I don't know who the woman is.
And she hasn't identified herself to you.
This woman hasn't identified herself,
Your Honor. And you're going to divorce your husband over that?
Your Honor, oh, no. That is not the entire reason why I'm divorcing my husband.
Well, you better tell me something else, because that one doesn't make good sense at all to me.
Your Honor, there was always a woman. There was always a woman.
There was always somebody else.
There was always some other woman that was more important, that took precedence over myself and over our child.
Okay,
like what? Now, he's saying he don't know anything about this woman that says that she's pregnant.
I'm sure
so what other women are you talking about?
Your Honor, I received my phone bill.
And what'd you find on the phone bill?
My phone bill was $200 worth of phone calls that I had not made. Now, there had been phone calls previously, but nothing of this magnitude.
So how do you know it was calls you hadn't made?
Because I know exactly who I call. I call the same people every month. And I called the numbers, which I did not recognize.
And so who were these calls to?
And these were all to women. Every single one. And I said to these women, I am Tish Williams. Do you know my husband? And they said, yes. This man had made $200 worth of phone calls.
And they all knew your husband?
They all knew my husband.
How did they know him? As co-workers? I mean, did they indicate how they knew him?
Your Honor, I was so angry, I did not even ask.
When divorce court returns, Tish testifies about Russell's lack of affection.
He would come home from work, and instead of interacting with myself or my child, he would just get on the internet and look at porn. And he was like, oh, what's wrong with looking at porn? I was like, Russell, you are a freak.
Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? Take your case to a new court show and be represented by a prominent attorney. Call 877-777-0099. Divorce court is back in the case of Tish Williams as she testifies about what Russell did on the night of her birthday.
On my birthday of last year, I asked him, Russell, what are we going to do on my birthday? I'd like to go out, please. Could you please take me out?
What did he say?
He said to me, oh, your birthday's just another day, just like any other one. He said, I'm going out to a strip club.
Oh, the strip club.
I said, you're going out to a strip club on my birthday? It's just another day,
So the real problem in the marriage is other women he seemed to be more interested in than you.
Other women.
Phone calls.
And phone calls. He ran up my phone bill.
How often did he go to these strip clubs?
On compensating me. At night, Your Honor, it got so bad that I used to have to unplug my phone.
From other people calling?
I used to have to unplug my phone and take it upstairs with me to my room.
The reason why she did unplugging the phone?
He would stay up late at night after I went to bed, because I went to bed at the same time every night with the baby. he would stay up and make phone calls. All the phone calls were made at
Late
12,
at night.
at 1. But then it became he was on the internet 3 hours a night, 4 hours a night looking
Your
at
Honor, I would like
porn.
to speak.
Wait a minute now.
He
If you-
would have his friends over, and they would have the nerve to get on my computer and look at porn.
So now,
in
wait
front
a
of
minute.
me
If
and
you're,
my child.
if you're asleep and you're going to bed early, and these are late nights, how do you know what he's looking at on the internet?
Oh, no, he wasn't getting on the internet late at night. He would come home from work. His hours changed where he was getting off earlier. He would come home from work, and instead of interacting with myself or my child,
He's on
he
the
would
internet.
just get on the internet and look at porn. And he was like, oh, what's wrong with looking at porn? I was like, Russell, you are a freak. It is okay to occasionally look at porn, but you do not sit and look at porn continuously. There's
3
a
hours a
problem.
night, he'd sit up and look at porn.
He would sit and look at porn. I said, we have a child.
No,
You're
Your Honor,
making
this
me
isn't
worry
true.
about the
What the
safety of
problem
my
is with the
child
phone-
if you have a
Hold
porn
on.
obsession.
Mr. Williams, she's accused you of a lot.
Yes,
Late
she
night
has.
phone calls when when she's asleep, get the phone bill, all these late night calls to other women,
Oh, yeah.
and internet porn. Talk to me.
The reason why she takes the phone upstairs into her room because this one guy always calls her on a daily,
is so
on a daily
not
basis.
true.
I'm
Ms.
talking
Williams?
to the judge. He calls every single day. Even have pictures in her drawer.
Oh,
that
that's back to the naked pictures
back
of
to
men
naked
in the
pictures.
drawer.
Uh-huh. I questioned her about this. Why would we have these pictures? Oh, this is an old relationship. I said, if that's the case, why don't we throw them away? She refused.
Oh, so she's still in
Refuse.
love
Your
with the
Honor.
past.
Oh,
May I
yes.
speak?
Well, what about late night calls when she's in bed to women? What is that all about?
I make calls sometimes. She goes to sleep. I have nobody to talk to. I'm tired of watching television, so I call up a friend or something. And they're not all girls. They're guys, too.
There were no
But if
men.
So
anything...
in a year's time, you all are not able to communicate with each other. One's going to sleep, the other one's talking on the phone to somebody else. Then she can't let go of the past. She keeping this man's picture next to her, dear to her heart. And you're going out with other people in less than a year?
Yeah, and
There's
I'm-
no communication between the two of
sometimes
you?
she kind of scares me. I had to lock my bedroom door. She scares me sometimes.
Lock your
Your Honor.
bedroom door?
Yes, I did.
You mean you don't
Your
share
Honor.
the same bedroom?
Oh, no. She wanted to
In
go
less
into
than
the
a
other room.
year?
Yeah.
Your
So
Honor.
you have one bedroom in the house and she has another?
Yes.
Why are you sleeping in separate bedrooms?
Your Honor, I slept in a separate bedroom at the point when this man, after going from a woman, then went to porn, our sex life totally disintegrated. I told him, I said, you know, I really can't be with you because I don't know what you have. I didn't know what was going on in his life. He became a total stranger. The man I married, the man I
In
loved,
less than a year.
became a stranger
No,
to
well,
me,
listen-
and I moved into my child's bedroom to sleep with her and be with her.
So all these late night phone bills at $200 worth of phone bills, did you pay them?
I gave her $100.
So you left
I
her
did
with
not
the
give you
bill? Is that what you're
$100 that
saying?
day.
Your Honor, he gave me for over $200 worth of phone calls. $200 was just 1 month. For over $200 worth of phone calls, he gave me $100 and told me, you know what, why doesn't your mother pay the rest?
Oh,
Go
no.
ask your mother
That's
for it. And I
untrue.
told him, I
I've
said,
never
so
you're
my
saying
mama
he-
doesn't live here.
So you're saying that he left you with
He left me with
responsibility
all
of paying all the
sorts
bills?
of bills.
No, ma'am.
Because
She
most of
kicked
the
me
bills
out.
were in
I
my
didn't
name.
leave her.
Both of you are talking at the same time.
Most of the bills were in my name, which he knew I wasn't going to have my lights turned off. I wasn't going to have my phone turned off. So obviously I was going to pay the bills. He was like, oh, you're rich, you're rich. I said, how am I rich when I'm struggling to pay my bills? I said, my mom does not live in this house. She did not talk on that phone. That is your
So
responsibility.
he left and left you to pay all of the expenses.
Left me to pay the expenses.
How
He
much did
didn't
they total?
care. Your Honor, I have 3 phone bills here over 3 months. I've added them up and I divided them in half to
So
be
how
fair.
much? What did they total?
The total, the half of the phone bill, taking $20 off the last month's phone
Just
bill
tell me
because
the
he moved
total.
out, is $355.
That's the one half, or is that the total?
That's one half.
All right. So that's what you're asking him to
Your
pay
Honor,
just
that
half?
is all
No, Your
I'm
Honor.
asking
I'm
for.
not going to pay something that I didn't do.
Oh, you're
I
not?
refuse.
Who told you whether you were or not? Now, wait a minute. Did I take off this robe and don't know that I took it off?
I think he wants it right now.
I will pay for the calls that I made that you can prove that the ones that I made. But I don't feel that it's right that I should pay for something that I didn't do.
I paid for
But
this
you
it's
said,
entire
just
phone
like-
bill
Ms.
already.
Williams, be quiet.
And it's just like me having my vehicle. Well, actually, I don't even have my vehicle. She got it listed as her
Did
vehicle
you
on the
leave
restraining order.
Did you leave with bills owing?
No, ma'am.
So they weren't owing.
No, and actually, I didn't leave. She kicked me out. She put a restraining order
not kick
against
you
me.
out, Russell.
What's this restraining order? I had to leave
You
the
left
property.
free of your own accord.
she-
Well, let me see. Do you have a restraining
Yes,
order?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. And
Right
Just
here.
be quiet. Let me see the restraining order. The restraining order kicked him out of the house.
Your Honor, he left free of his own accord. Our landlord, I have a
The restraining order kicked him out of the house. If he had left, then you didn't need a restraining order saying he shall move and not return. The issue is, when were those phone bills incurred that you were asking that he pay half?
These phone bills were incurred the entire time that he was here.
Were they due and owing when he left?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I've paid these
All
phone
3
bills
months
off.
were due and owing when he left?
Oh, by the time he left, yes.
Is that the 3 phone bills?
Yes, Your
Let
Honor.
me see them, and I'll decide myself what was going on.
I couldn't pay the entire phone bill
Just
because
let me
there were
see
other
them,
bills.
and I'll make the decision what was going on.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
It often happens that only one person works, only one person pays the bills, somebody else squanders their money, uses it on other things. That's unfortunate, the reality of marriage.
And an update on the case of Kenya Woods versus Emmanuel Black.
My mother's dying words was for me to marry Miss Woods. She told me she's moving out with her mother.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back in the case of Tish Williams. As the judge looks at evidence Tish says will prove Russell owes her money for past phone bills.
Okay, I'm looking at the bill for January. It said previous balance 0. So there was nothing owing, and this date of separation is last month. Previous balance 0. Nothing was owing.
I had to ask my mom to lend me money to pay it off.
Well,
because
where
they
is
threatened to shut
where
off
is
the
the
phone
statement
bill.
from your mom that she loaned you money to pay it off?
I didn't ask
Where
her
is
for
it?
a statement.
Okay.
But they were saying they were going to shut off my phone, and I wasn't going to have that happen.
All right. I heard you. That's the bill from December through January, and he was gone, right?
He was gone in the latter half of January.
That's right, and that's what this statement is. It says previous balance 0.
There's also a previous bills there.
I don't care about the previous bill. It doesn't matter to me. He was there. You were living in the same household.
But he
together.
wasn't paying the phone bill.
Not my problem. That's what happens in marriages sometimes. People don't always pay their share. But the court cannot get inside your marriage as to what was being paid when you were living together and what was not being paid. It often happens that only one person works, only one person pays the bills, somebody else squanders their money, uses it on other things. That's unfortunate, the reality of marriage. But when you come before me, I can't go back to those days when you were living together supposedly happily and somebody wasn't meeting their share of the responsibility. My period is after the date of separation. According to this document, no phone bill was due. Previous balance was 0. Your request is denied. Court's adjourned.
All rise.
All right.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Kenya Woods versus Emmanuel Black.
He's very controlling. He takes advantage of me. He didn't help me do anything.
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? To appear before a real judge on a new court show, call 877-777-0099. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Emmanuel Black said he tried to please his mother by marrying Kenya.
My mother's dying words was for me to marry Miss Woods.
But he said when he lost his job, she was out the door.
She told me she's moving out with her mother.
Just because you lost your job, you're telling me that she left you?
He's very controlling. He takes advantage of me. He didn't help me do anything.
Emmanuel wanted to be reimbursed $237 for a phone bill, and Kenya wanted him to pay $721.22 for damage which she claimed he caused to her car. After hearing their testimony, the judge ordered her to pay the phone bill and he the damage to her car. Kenya recently started a new job in medical billing, but plans to go back to school to become a legal secretary. She also has plans to buy a new house this fall for her and her son. She is planning a trip to Hawaii with a special friend. Emmanuel says his marriage to Kenya was such a negative experience, he never wants to remarry. He wants to buy a truck and start his own trucking business.
I'm very glad that I have this man out of my life. He was like poison. And now I can begin to heal.
I think she brought me to court because she was just trying to be selfish. Her parents stopped supporting her with financially, and she kicked me out, and so now she's just basically trying to get some more money.
He left bills and Now they're just going to go unpaid, and he hasn't learned anything from this other than you can live with a woman, not pay for anything, and she'll end up having to foot the bill.
My daughter will learn the value of $1 from now on.
When your wife and child take second seat to pornography, there is a very serious problem.
We had a good marriage in the beginning. I have no hard feelings towards her, but I do want to see my daughter.
Russell, I harbor no ill will against you. I just hope you get the counseling you need, and I hope in your next relationship you do not make the same serious mistakes.